ahead and talk.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Easy. There we go.
Oh, it's
Loud as day. Plain as day.
Oh, man. All right, there you go.
Gucci. Oh, so much louder. Jeez.
Yeah, now that I can actually hear you. Okay.
Yeah.
BNard, talk for me one more time.
Scoot, scoot.
Scoot. All right, cool. We're going to keep it rolling. You know, that's part of the fun, but I'm going to stop the recording just for a second, and then so I can edit recording again. Okay, cool. So we're back. Man, technical difficulties. Look at that. We were just talking about, plugging stuff in and having all kinds of issues, and then look at that. It comes out.
The lack of telecommunications this time.
The lack of telecommunications, that was pretty much. So maybe we'll get into that. But even though, look, technical difficulties, man, we're still off to a running start, right? So that's good. Welcome to the Pregame Podcast, y'all, episode 3. I'm super excited. We got a very special guest here, as you guys see. Normally it's DJ Dopio in the seat, but we got someone a little different in the seat tonight, and I'm super excited to have him on. So we'll have you introduce yourself first, man, because I'm super excited. You guys know who I am. You know who Dopio is, but let's have the man himself introduce himself.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? You already know it's DJ BNard. Skirt.
DJ BNard.
Skirt.
Okay, you see how the camera's on? Yeah, no, the camera's on you. That means it's your time.
I didn't realize that was all I was
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. The camera's on you. That means it's your time to
Dopio,
go, bro.
always in the building. DJ
Dopio, always in the building. And, of course, last but not least, DJ Jandro, all from GNV Entertainment, repping out. So, in case you guys haven't seen the last episodes, we're chilling out here. It is a Friday night tonight. Friday night's a real big night for us DJs. So, we're all getting ready to go out, have a good time. One of our dudes' birthdays tonight. Shout out DJ Distro High Tech. He'll be over at White Buff. We'll be out there chilling, having a great time. So I'm super excited for that. But we just want to get together before we get off to go ahead and entertain y'all out there and kind of talk some different DJ topics. Talk about my man DJ BNard, one of the most interesting people I know. Right. So DJ BNard, glad to have you on the show, man.
Skirt.
So before
man of few words.
A man of very few words for sure, but very powerful words, which I think is important. So. Why don't we, before we get into the topic or anything today, right, why don't we just have a little bit kind of on your DJ background, man? I know maybe some people who are listening maybe have never heard you DJ before, right? So a little bit about who you are, where you come from. I know that's exciting and you miss home, right? So, yeah, man, just a little bit more about you.
Okay. Basically, everyone knows, well, who doesn't know, I'm from a small island called Antigua. I've been DJing for almost ever. I started as a teenager, like a kid. I started on CDs until, laptops became a thing. And then as soon as laptops became a thing, that was it. I became a real DJ because CDs are really difficult, because the BPMs are always wrong. Some of the CDs, they get scratched really easy. Yeah, they loop. When it's laptops really changed the game.
When the bass is slamming in the club and sometimes the CD starts to jump in and skip in. Yeah.
So laptops really changed the game. Mm-hmm. Plus walking with 2 sets of CD bags to a gig, garbage.
For sure. It's a good workout though. If nothing else, it's a good workout.
Yeah,
so
I guess. I mean,
there's better ways to get a workout in maybe. How long you been DJing for?
I'm going to say I'm probably going on, I want to say about maybe 13, 14 years, just about.
It's a long time.
Yeah. But there were some off periods. Like there's times I took years off, like a year off, maybe 2 years off. But I've always, even if it's just at my home running some music, I still did that. But there were times I just didn't have any gigs, Yeah. Especially when I moved here to Gainesville, it took a while before I really got back out there. So that's basically me.
For sure. Yeah, 13 years, I think, out of all of us, for sure, probably in the company, is that you've been DJing the longest, I think. Because I'm right about 10 years. DJ Dopio is probably what, in the club scene, 3-ish years now going on, maybe 4 years, 3 to 4 years. So that's an interesting segue because the topic I was actually kind of thinking about we could all discuss, because we do come from different time periods of DJing, right? Like me, kind of 10 years, you a little bit above, 13, 14 years, and then DJ Dopio with the lesser experience. Kind of how we've seen the DJ game change since we've been DJing, and we all started at different points, And even you're talking about laptops and CDs and how that changed the game. So especially for newer DJs who are getting into it and maybe have never had that experience, just kind of how it's changed and maybe where we see it going, you know? Because you're an IT guy yourself as well, right? So.
Yep, I am. I also fix the computers that we play the music off of. Yeah, no, it's definitely way better than using a CD. Like CDs, I'm going back into the CDs again. Just think about you having to duplicate every single CD you have so you can play the songs back and forth. Like, all right, you have a hip hop CD, you got to duplicate it again to play the tracks.
To like beat juggle and stuff.
Yeah. And then you might put it in that deck, and that song might read 95 over here. Over here, it might be 120.
Yeah, for sure.
So you got to like listen. Oh, okay. Let me try to match it from listening.
That's a skill that's lost on a lot of new people, is even the ability to
because they invented that sync button, and it just made things too easy.
It's downhill from there.
Yeah.
Downhill from there, maybe.
Which, I mean, it's fine using the sync button. There's nothing wrong with it. I just it takes away from the fun. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Well, it's also too. I remember because I was a little bit behind the game. Like I got started really on laptops, but it was right after kind of CDs were taken off and everything. So I've had experience playing on CD players and everything, but it was never my big game. Like when I would go to mobile gigs and everything, I would always bring my laptop, and that was kind of my game. But even it's interesting to see kind of the programs and stuff change, because when I started, it was Tractor, and that was the big kind of game that everyone was pushing, and then it was Record Box, and even y'all remember we were all playing on Record Box for a while, which
garbage.
It was, yeah. By the way, we would literally, I can't even tell you how many nights like we'd be DJing somewhere, and it would just put out like that ridiculous, crazy screeching noise.
Oh yeah.
Or this.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, something like that. There was
Someone stepped on a duck.
Yeah, it was awful. There was one time me and Jesse were DJing a wedding, and it was on Record Box, and we were playing. Oh my god, this is like the worst story ever. Talking about, we're glad the technology is no longer like this, and we're DJing a wedding, and 2 different times during the wedding. So not even just it happened once and then you get over it. 2 different times, just the music stopped, and this horrible high pitched just screeching noise took over, and it was literally like. Not even just unplugging everything solved it, but unplugging everything, like turning everything off. We had to shut down all the whole setup and everything. So it was a nightmare. And I mean, just to have to deal with that and stuff, right? I'm glad it's not a big issue. I don't even really remember where I was going with that story, honestly, but it happens.
Record Box sucks.
Record Box sucks is the moral of the story. New DJs, Record Box sucks. Get on Serato.
Yeah,
That's what we all like.
I actually, when I started on laptops, believe it or not, it was virtual DJ, but it wasn't for long. Like I did virtual DJ for about a year, but because it felt so fake, I had to move to Serato. Well, it wasn't called like just Serato at that time. It was called Scratch Live.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so I had a you guys know what the SL4 is?
No.
Not by the name,
oh, the
no.
mixer. Is it a mixer?
No.
No,
It's a box. It's a box that allows you to convert. Basically, you have to get the SL4 with the CD time coders to get the CDJs to work with your laptop. So that's how it started. Now you have mixers that do that. You don't need that anymore. But that box is
It was like an adapter for your laptop, essentially, to be able to play on CDJs?
Basically. It had RCAs in it, so you would plug the CDJs into it, and then you would have a USB coming from that box, and that goes to your laptop.
Yeah, see, I was lucky because I never had to, I guess, go through all of that rigmarole and everything, man. It's a lot.
It was pain. Now you have rain mixers that you can just do it right away, no problem.
Yeah. How do you think like preparing sets has changed in the time you've been around? Because preparing all your, not vinyl but CDs and everything, and now we do it all digitally, right? So like, how much time would you go about spending preparing sets then versus now? And
well, I never actually really prepared for a set. I'm being really honest with you guys. I am a wing it.
Always
DJ.
just golden when you touch it, no matter what.
No,
yeah.
I kind of just wing it. I kind of look at the crowd because I've had experiences when I have prepared for a crowd and I got there. Either the DJ that was there before played everything that I had that I was gonna play, or that's not the crowd that's there. So I have to literally start reading the crowd to figure out what I'm gonna play.
Imagine that, actually having to read the crowd and figure out what people want to listen to.
Believe it or not, DJs nowadays days don't do that.
sometimes.
No, most of the DJs nowadays, they do not read. They literally just look at what they have prepared and they go through that list. They will not look to see if the crowd is vibing. They're just gonna keep playing what's on their playlist.
People ask, they're like, "Oh, do you have a playlist you're playing off of, or some variation of that question?" And it's always like, "Well, I mean, I have crates, like I have like playlists, but like it's not like this is this is from 9 p.m. to midnight. These are the songs I'm playing." It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, unless you're really doing a themed night, or you're only going to be doing an hour set, and you gotta go ahead and prep for everyone. We're gonna take a break. Yeah, we're gonna take a quick bathroom break. DJ BNard's got to run out to the bathroom.
Jug of water.
Oh man,
I'll be sick.
It's all that water, man. It's all that, man. DJ BNard also keeps us all motivated to keep drinking, not water, or not alcohol, but water rather, which is good.
Yo no quiero agua, yo quiero bebida.
Yo quiero agua, more like.
Yeah.
Man, I got my editing working for this episode because I'm gonna have to chop all this up and all that fun stuff. Let me see what we got.
Oh, you're not gonna keep this in where he's leaving to go pee?
I don't think I'm gonna keep that in. No. We are back after that quick little break there. It's always important to get the little boys' room break in there. Can't be talking on a full bladder. Of course not.
Yeah, I get nervous.
Especially when we're DJing, man. That kills me when I'm DJing sometimes. Honestly, it's like, especially you chug like a big jug of water like that, or I've been doing the gallon waters now, so I'm up there and I'm drinking all night, and like you're mixing quick and you can't get away from the bathroom. But sometimes 1:30 a.m. crawls around and you're doing the pee dance and all that.
You just gotta find a long 5
I'll tell you guys a story about that off here.
Off here? Oh, you don't want our viewers to hear the bathroom story, man?
They can't know what happened.
Oh, geez.
They're not allowed.
So ominous. That's for the confidential files.
That's for the Patreon.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the Patreon. The
GNV Plus.
Oh. Something like that. Oh, what were we talking about? What's the topic of today's?
We're discussing like how when we first got into
changed
DJing, how it's evolved,
and how it's evolved, and specifically kind of the technology and stuff. So, also, I know DJ BNard is super humble, so I'm gonna rep him up here a little bit. But not only is he a very talented DJ, but also an incredibly hardworking IT director. Is what's the title again?
Just call me an IT guy. I'm a system administrator. But there's too many things on my title. Just call me an IT guy.
A systems administrator. Yeah, you already lost me for sure. But so technology, is something that definitely interests you, and kind of seeing how it's changed and everything.
Like pressing buttons.
Yeah, pressing buttons, and then sometimes when you press them, they light up different colors, and that's more fun too.
That's what really brought it there for me. I like to see that stuff.
When they're different colors, I think it ends up sounding better too as well. So, Jesse, I mean, I haven't heard a whole lot from you, but just kind of like when you got started, DJ technology, what it looked like, and now kind of how you see it now.
I learned what basically what he was saying was virtual DJ, because when I was like kind of very like my infantile DJing was like, it was just off of that, because there was my old boss down in South Florida, and then one of the other DJs we worked with. Ooh, that was a little jump in volume there.
Yeah, I raised you up because I kind of couldn't hear you.
Yeah, so they used virtual DJ, so I learned like on that, and luckily whatever version it was a couple years back, it was almost the same thing as Serato. It was just as user friendly. The way that the playlists and the like little crates were is uglier, and it wasn't as like pretty, but it was close enough to where like setting up the cue points and actually the mixing style of it was simple enough. And then when I did switch over to Serato, it was such an easy transition over, and it was I like now I wouldn't be able to go back. If and when I open up virtual DJ, it just looks horrible.
Yeah.
It's like going back to like an old PlayStation game, and you're like, "What is this?"
After seeing all the
like Bugs Bunny back in time, you're like, "What is this?"
Yeah. It's and it's interesting too, because a lot of the kind of innovations now even are happening on the software as opposed to like on the hardware, because it used to be with the CD players and all that sort of thing. The new effects units that were coming out actually on boards with the big developments and all that sort of thing. And now you're seeing a lot of this happen like on the software, which I think is cool too, because a lot of these new programs coming out are really aiming towards those new DJs who are used to like software and even like programming to be able to get some things. So on that note, kind of as we I think altogether, I've had to chop this up a few times now, but we're probably coming up on, 20-ish, 25-ish minutes or whatever. But just my question to you guys, and especially you, BNard, as an IT guy, is like, where do you see DJ technology going in the next 5 years?
Neuralink.
Just DJing straight off of our minds.
Silent disco in our brains.
That's crazy, huh? So,
I mean, it's probably gonna get to a point like I don't know if you guys seen the Avengers.
can you get a little closer to the mic?
Sorry, I don't. Well,
There you
of
go.
course you guys saw the Avengers.
Love it, man.
But you see, like how the technology that Tony Stark's use. I think eventually we're gonna get to that point.
Oh yeah.
I feel it.
No, but what technology are you talking about? Because there was like everything, like
You know,
the suit,
like him being able to move things around.
Oh,
in his
yeah.
hands. Eventually,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we'll be going to.
You got to make sure that you're not going too crazy and dancing in the booth, then, because you might actually be crossfading your songs
the house hands.
Yeah, when you don't want to be crossfading and everything. That'd be crazy, man, huh?
It'd be like an interactive holograms.
I mean,
Like,
it's not gonna happen anytime soon. But
Yeah.
the way the world is moving, that's what.
I mean, think about it. They have those crazy like Bluetooth, those like laser projected like keyboards that you can type with, and it detects you typing it because it can see like your. So that's already like pretty. Those are old. Those are like 10 years old.
Yeah.
Those have
And
been around.
you guys are now seeing the apps that people have on the little iPads, the little mixing apps.
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
can.
I still don't trust those, man. Call me old fashioned, but the whole
Serato has one of those too.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust it. That's what I'm saying. Is I don't know if I'm old fashioned or I don't trust it. So do you see that kind of technology becoming something that becomes industry standard, or do you see that kind of being more of a niche?
It's gonna be just like right now. You're gonna have guys that are gonna be like, all right, hey, I'm not gonna play on that. That's not what. Like, for instance, there's still DJs that will refuse to use a laptop.
Yeah. Real
Yeah.
turntablism
You know,
matters.
They'll stick to their USBs. They will not use a laptop. You know, so it's just everyone's preference. Like me, I love my laptop. I hate playing off USBs.
Yeah. It makes me feel a little limited when I'm on USBs. I think
I can't
'cause-
type a song as
Yeah,
fast.
exactly. And at least for me, I feel that it's limiting because I don't like to plan the sets, and if your USBs, like, you got to have all the music on there beforehand and everything, maybe for those who don't know what we're talking about. So when you're just having your laptop and you have your whole library at your disposal, you can be much more flexible, I think, at least.
And this is a hot take with most DJs, but like I personally enjoy doing song requests as long as it's not like a completely horrible song. And on a laptop, you can, even if you don't have internet, you can just pop on like hotspot on your phone and you can like download a song.
Yeah, exactly.
Within 5 minutes.
Sure.
And that's
DJ
another thing.
Dopio's hot takes.
Well, I know some people are like so like fucking adamant, and like it's like this whole DJ culture is like, oh, no song requests.
Yeah, I think that's a whole nother
I
even
thoroughly enjoy doing
episode,
them.
because there's so many different opinions on that, and I think it comes down to the base thing of just being a DJ is trying to make sure people are having a good time, right? And if a song request is going to be something that gets people to have a good time, then consider it. Don't let the crowd tell you what to do.
How I deal with a request though, unless it's like, if the club owner makes a request, all right, fine. We'll
Yeah,
play
of
it
course,
right
of
away.
course.
But if someone makes a request and it fits into what I'm playing right now,
Yeah, for
hell,
sure.
you got it. If it's a song that has nothing to do with it, go away.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially, in the future when we're going to be dealing with Tony Stark-like technology, I'm
God.
like, look, I don't have time to talk to you because I got to look at 47 different screens that are popping up in front of me. So,
Nah, man, I don't think it's going to be like, it's more like going to be, you're going to have a virtual deck
yeah.
on the desk in front of you. That's what it's going to be.
It's so crazy to visualize this and kind of think about it, because honestly, like, my very first DJ mixer that I ever got, and this is 2011, maybe 2012 we're talking, probably even earlier, actually, maybe like
10 years. So
yeah, maybe like 2009, 2010ish. Actually, we're already getting to this, but it was literally like a touchpad sort of thing. So it was 3 units that you all put together, and they had like magnets, and that's how they stuck together. And then literally like it was like a touch crossfader, and the jog wheel was touch. So I would literally like
almost like a needle search. Or
yeah,
like, that's what
kind
you
of
mean?
like, kind of like a needle search. So you would literally just like move your finger across it. And this was in 2009 or 2010, and it was terrible. Like I know I hated playing off of it. It was clunky. It worked 50% of the time. I think I sold it and immediately tried to get an actual, my Tractor S2 that I had. But it's so crazy to see now, 10 years later, we're talking about this kind of technology maybe coming back and everything. And that was something that's already there. So
It's just like scrunchies.
They're
coming back.
in what way is it like scrunchies?
It's just shitty past coming back because it's trendy again.
That's coming back. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Come back harder than a 90s trend. That's a Taylor Swift lyric she just came out with.
Would you guys ever give up the controllers? I love my controller.
For what?
For some kind of Tony Stark like nonsense.
No,
I'm probably never gonna give up a controller. I'm just like when I was playing on laptops, it was too easy.
Yeah, for sure.
So I can actually play on Serato right now without my controller, and it's just so easy. And I'm just like, I gotta at least be, I've got to be doing something when I'm playing, not just pressing a button.
Yeah.
On a laptop, I have to actually.
I like the tactile sensation.
Feeling.
Yeah.
The best controller I had was the NS7.
Yeah, because it has the one with like the spinning motors and stuff. Have you ever played on one of those?
No.
That thing is pretty cool. So it's first of all, it's heavy as all. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, when I had I had a guy that came with me to my gigs to help me.
That's what you need.
Steps.
your NS7 guy. Yeah, those things are like, I think altogether probably 65 pounds.
He was your pallbearer for your DJ.
Seriously, man.
You ever lifted my controller in my case right now? The NS7 was
probably twice as heavy. Yeah, probably twice as heavy. I would say easily because it had literal motors inside the piece.
Yeah,
so
when you hit play, they start spinning.
Yeah, the controller even like started spinning stuff. So it was cool to play off of because you have an actual feel like you're playing on vinyl, but just all heavy. I never had one. One of the, when I first started DJing in Gainesville, one of my fraternity brothers had one, and we would play off it all the time. I remember it would be so much fun, but yeah, it's probably like 65 pounds. No, you're good. You're good.
Oh shit! I didn't want that.
Is that coming off your phone? Oh,
yeah,
I was like, what's that sound?
No, it's coming off the phone.
It's my phone.
It's coming off the phone.
It's because I clicked on it, but that's it, right? It's because I'm looking at flashbacks. But
oh, got it.
It's that.
Yeah,
big.
no, it's big.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, and it was big and bulky, but it was a lot of fun to play off of. So,
it's like a Model T. You got to crank that bitch up.
Yeah, it's just something like that. I don't know about cranking it up, but maybe cranking that back in 2011. Soldier Boy.
And that was way before then.
And then they came out with the NS6, which was nice. I had
the NS6 was after the NS7?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make any sense.
That
makes no sense.
It's because the platters didn't spin anymore.
Gotcha. So they
it
had to take it a whole.
Inches, or was it like, what is this? Is the number like indicative of something?
No, the platters just didn't spin anymore.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I didn't know if it was like the NS7 had 7-inch jog wheels and this one was 6. Or...
No.
Otherwise, the numbers are usually like pertinent to something like that.
No, it's just they literally just call it the NS6 because the platters didn't spin. They were just regular platters, like on a CDJ.
So I don't think that we're gonna ever see this kind of like technology take over or overcome like some kind of basic, because even from turntables to controllers is still pretty similar, right? You still got two decks you're working between and stuff.
Just digitized.
Yeah, just digitized. So I don't really see it going away because you got 3 experienced DJs here in the room who are all saying the same thing, is that we love this sort of like tactile, being able to feel. And I think again the theme that we keep talking about, like connecting with the crowd, and I think there's something with being able to physically touch and manipulate the music that you're playing that allows you that connection a little more. So I don't know if you'd agree with that or not.
I agree with you 115,000%.
There you go. He had 100,000 and he borrowed 15,000 from you. Yeah.
Don't forget to carry the 1.
Cool, man. So again, for all you guys, I think we're probably all chopped up and everything, probably coming up on like 30-ish minutes, which is good. Before we go ahead and wrap up with the event schedule and all that kind of fun stuff, we do want to keep this informative, obviously, for new DJs and for what our advice would be. So kind of looking at technology, getting into it, and specifically speaking to newer DJs, DJ BNard, what would be your advice?
Don't get caught up in the hype. I'm just gonna be real.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get caught up in the hype.
What do you mean?
Most DJs right now, they become DJs not because they like being a DJ, but because they want to be a celebrity. That's not what DJing is about. Everyone doesn't need to know who you are. You just need to show up, do what you got to do.
And love it.
Don't care about, I need to have 10 girls up in the booth, or I need to post everything on my Instagram because I've got to be a celebrity. And that's not about that. It's about you loving what you're doing and you enjoying rocking the crowd. No one needs to know who you are. That's how I feel about it.
That's what it comes down to. We keep talking on this thing and it keeps coming up like, having this come from a love of music and everything. And I guess, that went away from technology and everything, but I think it's true. And even like you talked about social media and not letting the technology overcome the craft of DJing. So whether it's relying on what your board may be doing or relying on like the technology of the board or the sync button in whatever case, or relying on kind of like social media and that to carry your DJ career, like you got to have these fundamentals in place and you got to know how to be able to control a deck, right?
Yeah, a lot of because a lot of DJs, they just have a lot of followers. That's basically what they have.
Yeah.
But you put them in front of a crowd.
Yeah, there's some good ones though, man. Honestly,
I'm not saying they're bad ones. I'm just saying there are some DJs that they have maybe 1 million followers, but you put them in front of a crowd. Red means go.
Yeah, red line to the finish line.
Red line to the finish line.
And then before you know it, you're like, wait, how do you have 1,000 followers? But
well, more than 1,000 probably, but
no, I mean, sorry, 1 million. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
And you're. I mean, I'm not saying you suck, but what are you doing?
Yeah,
type vibe.
For sure.
So
for sure. So don't get caught up in the hype. I guess for me, like if I was looking at it again, kind of, I guess specifically looking at technology, I think you got to be versatile with kind of all of these different types of things. And we've all had experience on so many different DJ platforms. And I think when you learn one platform, you're able to kind of take the skills that you've gathered from those and move it to the next one. So my advice definitely would be just learn all the platforms, even though you may realistically never have the opportunity or never have the need to play off of CDJs and learn how these things work. Like, you should definitely have a base understanding of how these things work, because you're going to learn a lot about your own controller and your own kind of thing you're doing. So, learn it all, I guess would be how I would kind of wrap it up. Learn how these, even if you don't play on those things, like learn how they work.
Yeah, that's that proper foundation. I agree with you.
And I got a perfect example. So even, this will air after this happens, but this weekend, there's DJ coming in from Orlando. Shout out Leon Dis Music. Super excited to be playing with him on Saturday, right? And he's coming in, and something that was so cool is he was like, yeah, if whether it's Serato or Record Box or whatever you guys are playing off of, like, I'm ready to go, and so having that versatility makes it so much easier now to get him implemented here and stuff too. So just like being versatile and having all these things available is never going to hurt you. So make sure you learn it. Jesse, any thoughts on that?
I mean, not.
So we go around the table.
Yeah, not really anything to more expand on what you were saying. That was what I was thinking. Is like, you don't know what you're going to get into. Like, let's say you're doing like a guest spot or something. It's not your headline set or whatever. But if you go in and for whatever reason, like, you can't use your board, you have to use someone else's. You have to understand the basic functionality of it. Like, know what you can do to, like, how you can plug into it and then operate it. Mm-hmm. And then let's say it isn't Serato, or let's say it is Record Box, or it's just something else. Like, just be adaptable and know, like, how to function outside of what you yourself always do. Yeah. Because there's examples where, like, it doesn't happen often, but with what we were saying with the Record Box, if it does start going crazy and doing that screechy thing, you might have to open up a different program or software or something. Yeah. Just have the capability of, because if something does go wrong, or let's say you do go to a guest or to a DJ booth and they do have CDJ set up and you're used to DJing off your board, at least be able to know enough to be able to do the job. Yeah. Otherwise, don't get like a fish out of water. Like, what? This isn't me. I don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. Or like a common issue I see all the time is people not knowing how to, like, connect audio cables.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Like, they'll walk in and there's not two
XLRs
XLRs to plug right into their thing, and then they're just stumped.
Yeah.
Like, at least you might not have the cords or the necessary equipment with you per se, but, like, there's like, okay, well, then that's it. Mm-hmm. And, like, there's other options. There's other capabilities.
And my favorite one, for sure. Red means go.
Red means go.
Red means go. I mean, that's a big pet peeve of mine. Like, a lot of DJ, I don't think you're allowed to be a DJ until you understand the basics of. You don't have to be a sound engineer, but you need to know that when your board is in the red, that means something needs to get turned down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also it's an experiencing thing, but when you're giving a red signal out of the board, there's really not a whole lot that a mixing engineer can do behind it to make it sound good and stuff. So you got to keep in mind, like, if you're just redlining, there's nothing that a mixing engineer, you're just going to send a squash compressed signal.
Trying to make a fart smell good.
Yeah.
Unless you're like Eli.
There's things for that
goes and turns it down.
Yeah.
Eli.
Shout out Vivid Sky.
Shout out Vivid Sky. Shout
All
out my
them
boy
people.
Eli. He'll go turn the mixer down. If he goes and sees you're in the red, he'll just go.
And make sure, yeah. You gotta have that's why they're good, man. You gotta have people like that watching all those things. So, last thing, and then we're gonna roll out because, like we said, we're just prepping before we got to get going. DJ Dopio is gonna start DJing here in 45 minutes. Red means go.
Yep.
Technology, because we talked about like Instagram and all that stuff, but the episode is technology, so we want to keep it on topic. Learning technology and everything. Do you have any kind of parting words as the IT guy? Any parting words for DJs that maybe we haven't touched on?
I'm be real with y'all. If you're gonna really start DJing, get a Mac. Don't try to. I mean, if you have to start out on a PC, fine, do it. But try your best to save up and get a Mac. PCs are they're not for music like that. I'm being honest with you guys. So save up, buy the correct equipment. Don't try to just get some knockoff stuff because when you plug into a big system, you're gonna sound like garbage.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Amen to that. And you definitely, your brand is your sound, right? So you don't want to come in sounding like garbage, and it's something you can't avoid.
And the best DJ tip of the night is just make sure you get that $24 million diamond implanted into your forehead.
You stop that right now.
Because it's a sync button for your brain.
You mute that mic over there, please.
We want to talk about Avengers and everything,
Yeah.
man. Lil Uzi Vert's literally looking like Vision now.
Dude, you can really read the crowd with that.
So crazy.
Third eye.
Man, people with way too much money, way too much.
He could have just gave me $5,000 of that. I would have put it into something that would have made some money.
24 million, right?
I just needed $5,000 out of it.
That's what he
just
claims.
$5,000.
It could just be rock salt.
$24 million.
It could just be a ring pop.
That's what happened when you got.
Oh man. All right, guys, we're gonna let's wrap it up. Like I said, we gotta get ready to go celebrate our man DJ High Tech's birthday.
High Tech Distro, baby.
High Tech Distro, whatever it is, one of the two.
Skirt.
Maybe we'll have him on next week. That'd be fun. DJ Mike.
That's gonna be funny.
Can we
It's a fun
get a hair cam?
He's gonna
Keep it blowing in the wind.
He's gonna put his hair up in a bun.
He should. DJ Man Bun.
No.
Is he
DJ
on
Top
right now?
Knot? DJ Top Knot.
Is he on now? Is he?
Watching? No.
No.
Oh man, I can't talk trash about him unless he's on. That's no fun.
Think so. He'll see it. He's been watching him. They've all been watching him. All right, let's wrap this up here. So it is Friday. We're gonna post this on Monday.
Skirt.
The event schedule for that week. I don't have the date up in front of me. Monday's my birthday actually, so I do have the date. February 8th.
I know it's somebody's birthday on Monday.
Catch me.
Monday.
I mean, I don't know on a Monday. I don't know what there is to do. We'll see. We'll do something fun. On Tuesday, we're going to be doing trivia over at the Keys, Piano Bar and Grill, Celebration Point. That'll be hosted by DJ Dopio.
It's
himself.
the Dopio show. Sorry, I had to do it.
It is the
one
Dopio
time.
show.
I had to do it one more time.
No, that's been canceled.
DJ Dopio show has been canceled.
No, apparently, yeah. There will never be a DJ Dopio show again.
That's the spinoff. That's like a Jerry Springer and then the
Steve Wilkos.
Yeah, the Steve Wilkos. He got his own show.
I'm literally picking up the mic tonight in White Ball and be like, it's the Dopio show real quick. I'm just walk away.
Oh man. So
I guess I'm losing my job.
What day was I?
I will lose mine.
Tuesday, that'll be Wednesday will be over at Grog House for ladies night. You guys already know it's so much fun.
Skirt.
We're going to have some pictures, videos pop up on the screen as well. Also doing karaoke that night, which will start at 10 p.m. Right across the way over at Social. Also a good time. They're doing picture deals and everything as well. Make sure you come, dress warm, because we will be up on the rooftop, which is so fun. Friday and Saturday going to be over at White Buffalo both days, and then Saturday make sure you catch us at Downtown Fats, and then also at Grog House for all you can drink, starting at 9 p.m. as well. Skirt. Catch out DJ BNard. Always a pleasure, man. Hey, cheers, guys, for the pregame. With your big jug. You can cheers in here too with your coffee, or not.
El café.
There you
Gotta
go.
go gadget my arm into the camera.
El café.
Cheers. There we go. All right. Thank you all so much. We'll see you next week on the
A-Town,
pregame.
peace down.